morning. So you can see the damage on the inside line of this. It kind of just pushes this up. This one's not as bad as the first couple I did. Hey, Jim. Is it snowing? We just got rain. Well, that's not too bad, I guess, huh? That just pops it now. It looks like people are getting slammed in like the Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas area. I waited to the last minute to do the needle holders. She's not going to come pick these up till later this week, but I thought I'd get them knocked out today. See how that just pushes that material? It's really the only way I can figure out how to test these. I can see the burr pop up. The wine cork works really well to remove the burr. I don't remember who I saw do that originally. It wasn't my idea. I saw somebody else online using the wine cork. That's the way it should cut. So if you're just joining us, we are sharpening Olsen Hegar needle holders for a veterinary clinic. I've probably got about 20 pairs to do. Maybe more. I don't know how many's in that pile. So here's how we test it with some flat dental floss. And see how it kind of pushes the dental floss? It doesn't cut it, doesn't pop it. And there's only a tiny, tiny cutting area on some of these. These are different brands. I sharpen them and I clean them with alcohol. I don't know if that's what you consider sanitized. They'll be autoclaved when they get to the clinic. They make up surgical packets out of these. So I just give them back in bulk bags, and then they separate them into surgical packets for spay and neuter. This is a high volume spay and neuter clinic. So when I use alcohol, 99% isopropyl to clean them up. If these were being used by humans, I would clean them before I touched them. But since it's a dog and cat, we're okay. So now it's cutting. Watch this. It'll cut clean. That's what we want. Most of them are fairly clean. There is some kind of, I don't know what that is, it's on them. It's probably some kind of sanitizer that they spray them all with before they give them to me. They're fairly clean. And so my first inspection, I can look along that line. It's hard to see in the camera. but you can see the damage along that cutting edge. And that's just wear over time. And so I mark the edge with a marker so I can see where I'm going to sharpen. And they're basically zero, they're flat. There's virtually no angle to the edge. And you feel a little burr, you know you've got it. Well, I appreciate everybody watching out there. I hope you hit that thumbs up button. I also hope that you consider subscribing to the channel. It does help our little YouTube channel out, helps our business out down here in Texas. See how it cuts easy now? Perfect. Hey man, what's going on? I charge $10 a pair. What's going on out in California? You can see the wear on the inside line. I've already got a burr, so I had one little spot left there. There we go, we're beautiful, look at that. Hey Warren, what's going on, buddy? What's going on in Carson City? Cold out there? Oh, wow. All right, we got those. Yes, we do clipper blades. You can mail them to me. Contact me through my website, which is sharpenright.com. There you go. There's my website. You can message me through the site also. Well, I hope it's fairly warm there, Warren. It's cold and rainy here in Texas today. I didn't get to walk. It was pouring at 4:30 and it was 31 degrees. I said, I'm gonna pass today. Oh God, 20 degrees. Fantastic. Warren, I couldn't handle that kind of farmer's market. Felt like I didn't have a good burr on that other side. I can see the burr pop up. Olsen Hegar needle holders. So let's test them before we sharpen them. And see how it just pushes, it doesn't cut. So the veterinarian would be frustrated with that. And there's just, like this pair, there's just a tiny, tiny cutting surface here. And I can see the burr pop up. The benefit of having lots of light. You got to push that burr back up. Jim, the furnace still working good? Hey Warren, I just saw your text. I'll respond to it. He's probably pulled up to. He's probably off of YouTube. So that's cutting good. So this one's got a little larger cutting surface on it. Yeah, that would have been a real bummer if you couldn't have fixed that. Clean my disc here. $295 people watching. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. And if you're so inclined, please subscribe to the channel. It does help our little business down here in Texas grow. We're Sharpen Right Services. We sharpen salon, barber, and pet grooming shears, clipper blades, sewing and industrial scissors, including some surgical tools. And just about any kind of knife. I got in this is the second large order of surgical tools from a local veterinary clinic. I did a bunch of them a couple of weeks ago. And she brought some more on Friday. See, it doesn't push now, and it's cut and clean. See, these are corroded right there, and there's a big nick taken out of the blade right there. So we got to try to fix that. And that one's you can tell that's pretty rough right there. this is the side that's got the damage to it, so I'm going to have to take a little bit more material off this one to get it cut, I think. We're almost there. Still a little bit of nick in it. All right, I think that's the best we're going to get. That's a pretty good size indentation into that blade. And if I take too much material, it's not going to cut. Uh-oh, that's not cutting. All right, we got to redo that one. It's not cutting like I want it to. There we go. Still not cutting great. I'm gonna put a red dot on this one and say I think you probably should replace that one. It's pretty eat up. Look at that. We got to move forward. Let's do another pair. Let's test them. You can see that doesn't cut. Let's see if they'll cut better now. Those still ain't cutting good, are they? There they are. Kind of pushing. So how cold is it where you're at? We're in southeast Texas. It's only in the 30s. It didn't get as cold as they said it was. To remove the burr. So I create it, when I grind it down here, I create a little burr, and the cork cuts the burr off. So that's cutting good. Yeah, the cork works pretty cool. It really does. It does a good job. Sometimes I'll use a little piece of leather, but the cork works really good on these little tiny instruments like this. Those don't cut at all. Ugh. Nope, it's a one-time use cork. And sadly, I don't get too many corks because most of the wine I drink comes with a screw top. My favorite wine lately has been Walmart's Winemaker Select, $4.98 a bottle. It's not bad. And it's cheap. Hey Jeff, what's going on, buddy? How cold is it there? think you were getting a ton of snow, weren't you, Connecticut? Those are cutting good, see that? That's the way it should cut. All right, we're getting through this batch. They will not cut. Jeff, we didn't get any ice. I mean, it didn't get as cold here. So far, it has not gotten as cold as they said it was going to. Just rain. It was about 31 this morning when I woke up at 4:30. But I went outside, nothing was iced over. Just rain. So it's warmed up in Manitoba, huh? That's the way it should cut, right like that. It pushes, does not cut. do my cork. Oh man. Oh, it rolled across the bench. How's that? All right, we only got 15 more pairs. No, it's a local veterinary clinic. Oh man. Now I'm out of dental floss. I'm gonna have to go find some more. Yeah, this was a big batch of surgical stuff for a veterinary clinic. I've been working on it for 2 days. All right, I'm gonna have to go find some another package of dental floss. I think I got some in the house. All right, we got a little piece right there. Perfect, so that cuts. All right, I gotta go find some more dental floss. Y'all hang them tight. All right, found some more. No, they're not sterilized. This is a Henway. What are you doing, Barney? What's up today? Oh, God. I don't know if they cleaned them before they gave them to me. They're fairly clean. It looks like they've sprayed some kind of disinfectant on them when they put them in the box. I'm cleaning them with rubbing alcohol. Like I said, if they would have been from a human clinic, I would have put them in the ultrasonic cleaner as soon as I got them. But since it's a veterinary clinic, I'm not worried about catching anything from a dog or a cat. I don't like the way that cut. I'm going to redo this one. Hey, SOCOM, you're in Kentucky, right? If I remember right? Are y'all getting slammed? I think the mid part of the country is getting it. A lot of snow and ice. Man, minus 20. I can't imagine. Still doesn't cut great, but it cuts where it wasn't cutting at all. Man, I can't imagine minus 40 wind chill. That's insane. 20 inches of snow. Holy crap. Yeah, we're in Texas. I'm in southeast Texas. I'm about 30 minutes from the Gulf of Mexico. So we just get rain. It did snow last year here. Yeah, Dallas, the north part of the state is getting a lot of ice. Years ago, I used to have to travel to Chicago, Madison, Wisconsin, places like that. They'd always send us up north in January to these conferences and trainings. I don't even own a coat. See, that's cutting really nice there. Just pops. So if you're just joining us, I'm sharpening Olsen Hegar needle holders for a veterinary clinic. They are a high volume spay and neuter clinic. And I think they also do the couple of the animal shelters in our area. All right, we're getting down to the last. I think I got about 10 pairs left. Appreciate everybody watching me, keeping me company, keeping me entertained. Getting ready to use it. There we go, look at that. It's got a little something on it. I probably should have put all these through the ultrasonic cleaner. I had time to do that. I just didn't do it this time. See, will not cut. Yeah, it's not cheap, is it? But that's about the only thing I've ever found that really works for testing these type of tools. I think I have 4 veterinarians total, and so I've worked with them to make sure I'm sharpening these tools correctly. The first time I did them, I was like, let me have a couple of the tools, let me sharpen them, and you give me some feedback. And the first guy gave me some of the suture material that he uses. It's rather expensive, so I had to find something that was fairly economical to test these with, and the dental floss seems to work really well. Elizabeth, are you questioning my grammar? What? How dare you? I think we have a school teacher here. All right, so let's test it now. And that's still not cutting. There it is. All right. Let's be nice. It's the internet. All right, that's cutting good. It's all good, man. It's all good. So see, that cuts, but it kind of pushes. Maybe she's bored. Snowbound and bored. Well, I appreciate you here, Marie. Elizabeth Marie. It's a pretty name. All right. She may want to be a veterinarian. No, I would not disassemble these type of scissors. And most sewing scissors I do not disassemble. I do disassemble Salon shears. So that's cutting good. All right, let's do another pair. These are kind of dirty. Let's be nice now. Let's have a civil tone here. I don't know what a sawing scissor is. Or you're saying sewing scissor. No, I do not use the same machine for a sewing scissor. This machine is specifically designed to sharpen Salon and Barber shears, but I use it for these surgical tools. It works really well for these particular scissors. Or these are not scissors. This is what's called a needle holder, but it's got a cutting edge on it, so the surgeon can cut the sutures. I wouldn't want to, because I'm afraid I couldn't get them back together. Little tiny screw, I'm not messing with that. There's no need to disassemble them. That'd be just extra time. And these take long enough as it is. So I got a little nick right there in the blade. Because you want them to grip. This is not a polished edge. And there's no reason to do other grits. I'm not sure what you're asking, Chuck. What makes it special is this clamp. It's designed for sharpening convex edge salon, barber, and pet grooming shears. It's made by Wolf Industries. Yeah, the top of it's just a rotating sanders. The clamp is what makes it. You can go to the Wolf Industries website and see their tool. Wolf is spelled W-O-L-F-F. And they're in Spartanburg, South Carolina. They make equipment specifically for sharpening different types of scissors. These are not scissors. This is what's called an Olsen Hegar needle holder, and it's for surgery. It's got a very tiny cutting edge on some of these. There's different brands in this batch. It's a polishing stone is what it is, and I'm pushing the burr up. It's just like a little whetstone. That's a good question. I have no idea. I'm taking very little material off of them, so I don't know. I don't know how long they last. It'd be a good question for me to ask the veterinarian. But I know they're fairly expensive. I think a pair of something like this is somewhere around $100 or more. So it's worth it for them to see if somebody can sharpen them. See, that's still not cutting great. Let's do that one again. I charge $10 per pair to do these, and they're very labor intensive, and they're tedious to do. So what this little stone does, it pushes the burr back up. We sharpen salon, barber, and pet grooming shears, clipper blades, sewing and industrial scissors, some of these medical tools, and just about any kind of knife. You're talking about this little stone here? I'm not sure what it is. It's pretty fine. It's super fine. So it's probably around 3,000. I would guess. I don't know, to be honest with you. Let's see if it cuts better now. Still not cutting. Better than it was. All right. Seven more pair. So here's see, this one's got a much larger cutting surface on it than those other ones. And I don't know if y'all can see that or not. See if I can get in the camera. You see the damage? If you look at that edge, it's got damage along that edge. So I have to take that damage out for it to cut properly. I should have tested it before putting the marker on it, but we'll do it real quick. That one's not cutting bad. Well, it's kind of pulling a little bit. See how it's pulling? Yeah, Tony, I'm still working on this. I'm down to six pairs left, and I'll have this order done. So it took me 2 days to do all this stuff. On top of all the other knives I sharpened. Lowest degree? Oh, I don't know. I mean, 0, negative edge angle on pinking shears. So that's the way it should cut. It should pop. So these are dirty. Some of these have some kind of, it's almost like an oil on them. And I'm sure it's some kind of a disinfectant that they sprayed all these with. So, okay, look at this one. Can you see how it's chewed up right there? My back is hurting. I have a stool behind me, but I prefer to stand. And we are going long. I usually don't do these over an hour, and I take a break, but I'm gonna get them finished. Got just that little nick in there. I'm trying to get that nick out. And I got it. One on this side too. So it's 2 nicks on this blade. So I bet they cut into a needle. Almost there. I probably sharpened my first knife when I was 10. That's probably about the time my dad gave me my first pocket knife and taught me how to sharpen it. As a business, I've only been doing this for 11 years as a business. But my father taught all of his boys how to sharpen our pocket knives. Hey man, my hands don't look rough. What are you talking about? Those are beautiful hands. I could be a hand model. I mean, I'm no George Costanza, but still. I usually cut myself at least every couple of days or so with something, but it's never been terrible. Never had to get stitches or anything. Well, I take that back. I have got stitches on my hands, but not since I've been doing the sharpening. I don't like that. I'm going to do it again. I may need to clean the disc a little bit. And I was a Boy Scout too, and I was a Boy Scout leader for years also. Well, I had 3 brothers, but they're all have passed away. Yeah, these are needle holders. These are not scissors. We did some surgical scissors yesterday. I did some Metzenbaum scissors this morning. Metzenbaum scissors. Still not cutting what I want them to. There we go. And I see the tension on these are perfect. They're about 0 to 5 degrees. There's not much angle on these. See how that just pushes? And you can see the damage on that inside line. Just wear over time. No, you need to check out some of my other videos. I use a digital angle finder, and I can get the exact degree on my knives. Go out to my channel and look at my knife sharpening videos and the system that I use. I appreciate everybody watching. If you just tuned in, we're sharpening Olsen Hegar needle holders for a veterinary clinic. Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. And if you're so inclined, please subscribe to the channel. See, that's the way it's supposed to cut right there. That pops. That's nice. Depends on the knife. If it's a heavy backed blade, I usually do about, a big chef knife that's heavy. I'll do 20 degrees. I have a set of globals that I do at 14 degrees. I have a Shun chef knife that I do at 16. Once again, it just depends on the knife, the brand, and what I'm using it for. See, that's not cutting. That's a bummer. My pocket knife I carry, I do it at 18 degrees. Well, the problem is probably the steel can't handle that. And so if you sharpened it at 15 degrees, it would dull super fast. You have to find that medium sharpness and durability. Right here. Tony, I can set the degree whatever I want. Oh, I see what you're saying. You want it where it clicks. You know, what's the guy? Alex Lee's machine. So that's cutting great. I wish somebody would make a better aftermarket clamp for the twice as sharp. I misunderstood what you were saying. There's nothing wrong with the Tormek. The Tormek is a really good machine. I have one. It sharpens a lot of things really, really well. The only drawback about the Tormek is it's extremely slow for a professional sharpening business that has a lot of volume. When I started the sharpening business, I started with the Tormek. You know, if I only had a dozen knives to do on the weekend, it was not bad. But when I had 50 knives to do on the weekend, it was just so slow. But the Tormek is a very good machine. There's a lot of different sharpening machines out there that do a great job. I know, they're outrageous, and they wear really fast. And so you're going to spend a ton of money if you're doing a large volume of knives. It's hard to use a Tormek for a professional sharpening business. I'm just saying that. That's my opinion. I know a lot of guys do it. All right, we're down to 2 more pair. So can you imagine if I had to do a bunch of knives this weekend on top of all of these tools and using the Tormek, how much more time it would take? Yeah, I mean, 17 degrees on the kitchen knife is pretty good, but you probably sharpen them a lot, don't you? I mean, I know my globals, the globals that I have, they just take, they dull so easily. So when I do put the low edge angle, I'm constantly coming out here having to sharpen them when I need them. Yeah, it does. And that is a flaw of that system, Tony. I don't know if you're familiar with, I can't remember the name of the brand that Alex Lee of, can't remember his company, but he's got a clamp. It's like $1,500 for that clamp, but it is super. I'm going to go to the conference in May in Vegas. Shear Logic, that's it. Jeff, what's the name of his machine? It's a Japanese name. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, he's got a clamp that will fit on all these different machines. It will replace this, but it's $1,500. That's a pretty good amount of money to add to your flat hone. And I have two of these. I do not make knives. No, that's just not something I want to do. I just want to sharpen. All right, one more pair. One more pair. All right, I'm going to test the last pair and see how it pushes. Does it cut? That's it. He's got a clamp that he makes for that machine, but it also will fit the Hirito. I think it'll fit the Hamagura machine, and I think it'll hit the Shimmick or whatever it is that Bonica makes. If he brings it to Las Vegas, I want to try it. I want to check it out. You know, you hate to spend a ton of money on something that you may or may not use. Oh, it's went down in price. But that's a big chunk of change, you know, if it doesn't work like we want it to. But I understand what you're saying, Tony, and I agree with you 100%. Something that kind of clicks and doesn't have slack in it. And that's one of the drawbacks of the Hirito. There's slack in this clamp, and it's very irritating sometimes. If you're not careful, if you're manhandling that clamp, you'll lose your angle. How's that? Look at that. Last one, thank God. All right, we can turn the dust collector off. All right, so look at the big mess we made. All right, so there they are. Those are all done. There's the scissors, and there's the Metzenbaum scissors I did yesterday. So I got to count how many we have here. So that's not a bad couple of days work on top of some other knives that I did. So guys, that's it for today. Yes, it has a speed adjustment. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. You can go to the Wolf Industries page, and it's also reversible. So, see, it reverses, and then there's your speed control right here. So there we go. This machine is specifically designed to do salon, barber, and pet grooming shears, particularly convex edge. So you can, that's what the clamp's for, is so you can rotate the shear and convex it. Check out my channel. Just do a search for shear sharpening. I got tons of videos out there, me using this machine, sharpening shears, salon, barber, and pet grooming shears. Guys, that's an hour and a half. I am beat. I'm done for the day. So y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all watching. Tony, have a good one. Good talking to you. Texting back and forth yesterday. Keep in touch. Y'all have a good one. Take care.